excited, Mustafa. We are almost there.
Almost there.
See you right here. Indeed. Oh, now you're good.
That's benched indeed, for sure.
To clean the chicken, and then we got one to marinate the chicken,
Yes.
and then behind you is the fire where we're gonna cook the chicken. All right.
I think we're okay. Testing. Early 20s, he got jaundice,
Okay.
a very severe jaundice, you know. And at that time, that this was the early 80s, I think. And I guess in back home in India, it was not. Anyways, but this was a very severe jaundice, very late noticed.
Yeah. It's gonna record. Double apple.
Rumble. So, I'm sure you guys have met Mike. And we are super excited for today. And we have Mustafa here. Hi, Mustafa.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you excited for today?
Pumped. Let's do
Yes.
this.
Let's do this. Indeed. Here's the way, right? Yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way.
So you're gonna make a left, now the lights, you're gonna make a right.
I literally forgot.
What?
So
The bestie one?
is that what it is?
So I'm just gonna park here for 1 second. Because we need to.
We're surrounded by other campsites. We can't.
Don't worry, bro.
Oh, if they ask you for reservation, Rishi.
Yes. And I also have a tarp.
Okay.
Oh,
It came out.
Yeah. What is wrong? Yeah, keep going. Is it half? Yeah. That's it.
You're good. This is the worst part of the tent, because now you have to rise it up.
Oh,
All rise.
it's so bad.
I hate this part.
Okay, so you know what to do, right?
Yeah, I just hate it.
So
The most important part of camping is to blow it up.
yes, sir.
Okay. Two. Not a bad.
We don't need to stick this one and this one, right?
No.
Holy shit.
You gotta burn like that.
that's it.
Yeah, it's good.
Hello.
All right. I think we're okay. Testing. Welcome everyone. As you guys know, we've been running a little channel called Terror Vision Media on YouTube. We mostly do narration of horror stories, mostly paranormal. My name is Wazir. that's chosen over there, and that's Rishi. Rishi has his own channel. He's a vlogger. His channel is called Rishi Vlogs. Today we decided that a bunch of us will just come out here and do a little camping outside in a small town outside of Ontario, just to get ourselves accustomed to the new warmth that has come in Canada, in the Ontario's weather, and be close to nature, exchange some stories, do a little campfire, have some food, and just exchange some experiences. Now, as you guys know, our channel is mostly all horror, everything, from conspiracy theories to paranormal to alien abductions as well. We can definitely talk about that, but as the setting fits, since we're in a campground a little bit further away from home, we would like to talk about experiences that are more related to camping or bushcrafting or certain things like that. Okay. So we'll get into our experiences or stories that we've heard or read over the internet or in old TV shows or books um, on the second half of the podcast. For now, I would just like to go ahead and tell a little story to you guys that is a work of fiction. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so yeah, I'd like to, as the setting is fitting, I'd like to tell a little story to you guys that that's a work of fiction. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a true story. A little bit towards the end, you're gonna be like, no, that can't be real, and no, it's not real. But in the camping spirit, I think it's appropriate that I tell you guys this little story that I came across, and I modified it to add a little touch of myself. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so the story about two friends who are avid campers. They used to go camping every summer, multiple times, getting the best out of the warm weather. The names are Archie and Jason. It's one fine day they decided to go on a retreat in the wilderness and not book a campground. So they picked a spot, middle of nowhere, and they decided to drive there over the weekend. So what ended up happening is those guys took some time off work, took Friday off, packed their stuff, bought some food, just like we did, got in their car and started driving. So they packed their stuff, they get ready, and they start driving. It was pretty far away, a state over, as I said. Um, Roughly a 5 to 6 hour drive. They took their breaks. They parked their car in a little conservation area parking lot, and then they hiked for a good 2 to 3 hours before they were in the middle of nowhere. Their aim was to see a night sky not polluted by air pollution. That's why they decided to go super far away. So what ended up happening is they pitched their tents. It was already 5 p.m. Sun was starting to set down a little bit, not too much. It was the golden hour. They pitched their tents. They started a fire. They started cooking. Cracked open a few beers or whatnot. Talking about life. Had some s'mores. I had dinner. Uh, Played some card games. And at around 2 a.m. they decided that it was too much and they should head to bed. So they let the fire burn out. It was just some embers. They got into their separate tents, zipped up, got ready for bed, got in their sleeping bags, and went to bed. At closer to around 3:30, Archie decided that he wanted to take a piss. So he was contemplating between should he go and can he hold it, or like probably like what we're gonna do tonight. Can you hold it? Do you want to go in the bushes, um, or should he just get should he just wear his slippers, get out, and just go with it? So at that point, he heard some shuffling coming from outside. He thought it was Jason, who was probably awake as well. So he called out to him, but he didn't get a response. So what happened was, after calling out a couple of times, he just got out of his tent and went and looked over at Jason's tent, which was pitch black. There was no light in there. It was dead silent. So Jason was pretty much asleep. He could even hear Jason snoring a little bit at that point. So confused, he thought, where was the shuffling sound coming from, because the sound felt like, like a tent being shuffled or like a comforter being shuffled. He looked over to the other side, the opposite side of the campfire. So let's say there's a tent here, there's a tent there, there's a campfire, and across there's a third tent, which is very off. He is confused at this point, obviously, because first, they're literally in the middle of nowhere. They hiked for like 2 hours, okay? They drove for 6 hours. So it's not a campground, it's a conservation area. And then who's this person who just decided to come and pitch a damn tent with theirs, right? Uninvited. So he calls out to this tent. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention, there was a light inside the tent. Like there was a glowing light in there, like
Light inside the tent.
light inside the tent, like probably like a lantern or like a little lamp or something. So it's like, okay, definitely somebody in there. Maybe they were cold, or maybe they were scared. Maybe they saw a wild animal and they pitched the tent, and they would decide to introduce yourself in the morning or something. Calls out like, "Hey, buddy, who's this?" Light is on. Definitely, this person is awake, right? No response. So confused, he wakes Jason up. He goes to his tent, opens his zip, like, "Hey, Jason, wake up! There's a tent out there. Looks like there's a random guy camping with us." And it's an emergency situation too. You can't just go back to your tent and go to bed, right? Because like,
Yeah.
what if this guy is crazy?
Someone else on your campsite?
Someone else on your campsite, and keep in mind, middle of nowhere.
Oh.
So Jason comes out. He's also surprised, and then they're like, after calling out sometimes and then not getting a response, they decide, screw it, let's just go and open this guy's tent up and confront him. So they go there slowly. They open the tent. It's empty. There is a lantern in there though, which is just sitting on a little crate. There's an old sleeping bag, very old, like used quite a lot, and also looked like it wasn't a new, like the new ones you get right now, latex or Rexine or whatever they are, right? Waterproof material. It wasn't like that. It was kind of old. So, and there was a little book, a little leatherback book, like a journal, like a diary, over there. So Jason is like, somebody just pitch a tent and walk away. So Archie's like, okay, I don't know, let's see. So they decided to reach out. Yeah, they decided to take the book and see what this thing was about. They didn't want to go through his stuff, but then again, this was not exactly a normal situation. So they decided, okay, screw privacy. I want to know who this guy is. So they reached for the journal. As soon as they touched it, there was lightning, and like there was lightning sound, and like clouds all of a sudden. It was overcast weather, but it started pouring rain right away. So it was so frantic and it was so fast that they dropped the journal, and then they just ran back to one of their tents, and they closed the zip. It was that much. The fire was smothered. It was pouring rain, and it was a very scary situation. So they said, okay, we'll stick it out. It was a little bit uncalled for, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. It doesn't seem like a normal occurrence, but whatever. So they wait for like good 20-30 minutes, and then they start hearing footsteps outside their tent. So initially they thought, okay, whoever the tent belongs to is back, and they'll go talk to him. But even with the storm raging outside, the footsteps were just calm footsteps. You could still hear them, which was odd, because either this person is extremely heavy and big, or like, what's going on, because keep in mind, it's raining. It's very hard to hear something. And all of a sudden they heard some weird growling noises, and they were really scared, like, okay, what's going on? Maybe it's not a person that's back, maybe it's a bear or something. So they're huddled up in the tent, and they're like, okay, don't move a muscle, we have to just wait it out. And it went on for a few minutes, and then it stopped. The rain didn't stop, but they decided, okay, at this point, we got to see what's going on. So, they gathered some courage, opened their tent, and look outside, and there's nobody there. But also, the tent's gone. Yeah, the tent's gone, and there's footsteps near their tent that was circling them, If the tent's gone, if the ground was disturbed where the tent was, it's not. It's
So
still,
it's
yeah,
like tent was never before.
yeah, never there before, sort of a way. So obviously they get freaked out. They knew they had some beer in them, but this was crazy because they both saw them. They both saw the same thing. They both heard the same thing. So they're like, either somebody is pranking them, or somebody who's not right in their head is around, or there's probably a wild animal. Let's worry about the tent later. Pack up your stuff and go. So they, because it's pouring down, and the wind is gusting now. Uh, Archie's tent was blown away, sort of like it came off the hooks and it collapsed. So they said, okay, you know what? Instead of this open clearing, we need to pack our stuff and go to the woods. Probably find a little shelter, probably like a cave or something. Just get out of the open clearing because first it's lightning too and raining hard. So there's a small chance sometimes lightning can fall on an open clearing. Plus everything is wet, so you don't want to do that. So what ends up happening is they run towards, they frantically grab everything they can, they stuff it in their backpacks, and they start running towards the woods. They find this big tree, and then they just huddle up by the tree. It was so big that they was giving them some sort of a shelter. So just for the time being, he pulled out his tent and he tied the paracord on a big stick and just made a little tarp shelter for him, for both of them, for the night. So they stayed there for the night, and they decided that okay, I guess that's enough. This kind of put a damper on the whole weekend. So they said they just want to go back. Anyways, they're wet, and then they're tired. They didn't sleep the whole night, and all their stuff is ruined. So they decide to walk back to their car. So they start hiking back, and they decide to stop at the little ranger station they passed a few hours ago when they were hiking in to report this because, well, either somebody's camping in the woods and being weird or whatever. So they find the ranger station, and they go in there, they talk to the ranger, and obviously they don't tell them the whole story because they don't want him to think that they're crazy or you guys are on drugs or something. So they just said that what happened was there was somebody who pitched a tent with us, did not respond to us. Then it rained, and it was a storm, and we got out of there. But they were there inside the tent or so because there was a light burning inside the tent. So this kind of freaked us out. It would freak us out too. Like, what if it happened right now, right? So the ranger's like, okay, all right. And at that point, uh, when they were also talking to the ranger and sorting their stuff, their gear and all that. Jason pulled out. Jason was, rearranging his bag, and he found the journal, the same journal that they saw in the tent, and then he grabbed for just a minute. So what ended up happening is Archie's like, "Yo, did you take the journal?" And Jason is like, "No, I'm pretty sure when the lightning hit, it startled me. I threw it back in the tent, and we both ran for our tents." So the ranger's like, "What is this?" And it's like, "Oh, this is the journal. We might have accidentally taken it, uh, but this was the journal that was in there that we were talking about, right?" So what happened was the ranger is like, "Okay." He opens it. It's blank. There's nothing in it. No date, no name, nothing. It's very old. Pages are yellowed. So the ranger's like, "Okay, no problem. I'll make a note. I'll report this. Whatever. You guys, head on back." And Archie's like, "Do you want to just hold on to the journal, right?" The ranger's like, "No, you guys can keep it. It's not really important. It's blank. Doesn't give me any information." So as they're walking out, Jason's like, "What do you want to do?" Like, the journal. He's like, "I don't know. It's too weird, man. I'm just gonna just toss it in there." They toss it in the little bin outside the ranger station, and they do their hike, hour-long hike back to the car, get back in their car, and just drive home. Spend the weekend like any other weekend, like we do. Um, After a few days pass, Jason gets a call from the police station a few towns over, and they say, "Are you Jason?" And like, "Yeah." "Were you on a camping trip a couple of days ago, like a week and a half ago or something?" And he's like, "Yeah." "Okay, so what happened?" So what he ends up saying is apparently you guys went into a ranger. There, you guys spoke to a ranger over there, and that ranger has been missing for a few days. Yeah, so there's an official complaint and all, and we would like to talk to you. So um, he calls his buddy and he's like, okay, we should go down. So they go down, they drive over again at the local police station, and they said, okay, we're here. What do you want to know? So the police informs them that the ranger has been missing for a few days. Um, Last anyone saw him would be you, because he was stationed at that remote station, and when his station was investigated, his last entry in his report was that you guys walked in on that evening or something on that morning and reported a strange occurrence. So you guys were probably the last person to see him. Did you guys notice anything strange? This, that. So Archie goes to Jason and he looks at him and just with his eyes is like, yo, don't we don't want to tell them something where we sound crazy and then they can start considering us as suspects, right? Like you're giving us a bullshit story about some weird guy and you're trying to pin it on him.
Someone showed up at night.
Yeah, exactly. So they try to give him the same BS story that they gave the ranger. That they said, okay, all right, cool. If we need you again, we'll call you or we'll come see you. We'll, ask the local police to reach out to you or whatever. So they go back. On the drive back, Archie asks Jason, like, what could this be? Like, this is strange. The guy goes missing. I mean, it could happen, you're stationed in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, but you're a trained ranger. But then anything could happen. There's wild animals, this, that. Bear attack,
Yeah.
nature, anything could happen. So they chalk it up like, okay, well, whatever, unfortunate. So then they head home. Few days pass, and what ends up happening is one night, Jason is it's like 12 a.m. or something. He like to like stay awake in the night, so 12 a.m. or something, and then he's just like watching TV, makes himself some hot tea, sits on his couch, and just scrolling through his phone, watching TV with background noise, and takes a sip, puts it on his coffee table, scrolls a few more reels, takes another sip, and as he's putting his coffee mug back on his coffee table, he doesn't hear the little thump of the ceramic cup hitting the coffee table.
Why is that?
It was because the surface was different this time. He noticed that it was padded. He noticed that he had placed the mug on a leatherback book, which was the same journal.
Yeah. Oh damn.
So he's freaked out. He's like, I'm home alone. I'm sitting here, and I've been here the whole time. The table was clear. I cleared it out. I'm having my tea, and how is this journal and that same journal all of a sudden on his desk? So he doesn't touch it. He takes his phone and he calls his buddy. He's like, hey.
I would be so scared.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can't explain it. A rational mind can't explain it, right? He calls his buddy.
Getting stuff from a ghost, that's gonna freak me out.
Yeah, like here's a gift, Anyways, yeah. But then again, if you start believing like a paranormal aspect to it, you're like, well, what if burning it or throwing it away is gonna piss off an entity that I don't want to be pissing off?
But it can also
Hmm.
kill the entity itself because it was possessed inside that item.
Just like Voldemort.
Yeah, that's very Hollywood. I like where you're going though, and that's a good thought too. That I would consider that as a step.
There you go.
But first thing would be to call my buddy who was on the trip with me, right, and be like, "Yo, remember that journal? It's on my table." And he's like, "The journal that you threw in the bin? Yeah, that one. How did it make? They're a few towns over, by the way. 6-hour drive, as I was saying. So there's no way this is possible." He's like, "Did you have an identical journal?" He's like, "No. This is a book bound in leather." Okay, I don't own anything like this, any stationery like this. So he's like, well, open it. And he's like, why? It's like, oh, open it. I don't know. It just manifested out of nowhere on your damn coffee table. Open it and see what it is. So he opens it, and this time it's not blank. When the ranger opened it, it was blank. This time, it was actually like a journal entry, like a diary of this hiker, dated 1964. Okay, it was very old. It was brittle. The pages were yellowed, as I said. The corners were damaged, as it would be to something that old. And it was like a journal entry of this guy who was also very outdoorsy, and he was talking about taking some time off and going on a camping retreat, just like these two guys were.
Right.
Um, so there were entries about, saw my friend today, picked this up, picked that up, excited, this happened at work, and then it's like so excited for my trip on the weekend. And then his entries change into finally on my week long trip, did this, caught a fish, this, that, cooked, and all that usual stuff. Saw nature. There were some beautiful sketches too. He was probably a sketcher. He was sketching nature, talking about the animals, the plant, the wildlife that he saw, and that was that. So it went on for 3 days as entries, and on the fourth day in his entries, it was him saying that he felt like he was being watched in the woods, like there was somebody watching or somebody following him, which is very easily possible for you to feel if you're in the woods. By the way, it's a very common occurrence that humans feel. But from this guy's entries, like he was catching fish, he was building fires, and being in the 60s, like this guy needs to know. This guy would be knowing his stuff. He's not a random guy who decided to take up camping as a hobby one day. He's an avid camper, and his entries are growing to be more and more disturbing. Like, I'm hearing footsteps outside my tent. I'm hearing growling noises. I'm seeing somebody on the corner of my eye when I'm taking a hike. It grew more and more disturbing, to the point where the last entry was on one of the evenings where he was saying, I hear growling and thumping right outside my tent. It got very close, and I can hear somebody touching my tent. Like, you can see the tent protruding, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I think I'm in danger, and that was it. That was a half sentence, and the entry stopped right over there. So he tells him, okay, this is getting really creepy.
Yeah.
What do we do now? So he said, okay, you know what? There's no point um, about this, doing anything about this right now. Just go to bed. Okay, don't think about this. Just put this thing away. Okay, I'll see you in the morning tomorrow, and we'll investigate it. Okay, you have a name in the entry. You have a few dates. At this point, this is not something that could be an elaborate prank or anything, because this is some serious stuff. So, and keep in mind, there's a person missing too now, apparently, um, and definitely related to this journal, because this person touched the journal. That was the last entry, and there was nothing else after there. So this guy is like, this is getting creepy. What do we do? So he asked his buddy, um, I think I think you should come over. Like, I'm kind of scared. Like, what should we do? So his buddy's like, Jason is like, you know what? Let's meet in the morning. Okay, just forget about it. Just throw the book away if you want. Just put it away somewhere if you don't want to throw it. We'll meet in the morning. We'll talk about it, and we'll investigate. Okay, you have a name now. You have a date. We'll see. At this point, this is not a prank. This is not a scheme or anything. Uh, Something strange is going on. So we'll look into it. So he said, okay. So what ends up happening is, he does exactly that, but his friend, who was sleeping The friend who didn't get the journal, the friend who was called when Archie got the journal. Yeah, he is like, this is strange, but I got work, so I got to go to bed. So he was sleeping in his bedroom, and all of a sudden he hears some noise coming from his living room downstairs. He lived alone as well, so he said, okay, he's got to investigate, but then there might be a break in or something. So he grabs his baseball bat, walks downstairs slowly, and what he ends up finding is is that same tent pitched in his living room.
What?
Yeah,
Jesus.
through the floor.
Ooh.
It's right there, and there's a light coming from inside it. Okay, the flap is halfway open, and he can actually see somebody sitting inside because of the shadow, because of the light inside, and somebody who's rocking, inside.
Like rocking like this?
Yeah, yeah, and there's a growling noise, and that was the last time anybody heard from him. He went missing as well.
That's scary.
Yeah,
It is scary.
just a fictional camping horror story.
There you go.
Yeah,
You know. Story, man.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, but
Visit a raccoon.
yeah. That little visitor kind of, I thought it would put a damper on it, but that kind of creeped me out. Seeing those eyes and in the darkness. Yeah,
We got Dark Knight.
but yeah. So I just wanted to tell this story that I wrote. Yeah, no worries. Just to thank you, just to set a little mood for the evening.
Yes.
So at this point on, I just want to ask you guys, like, first let's talk about this.
Yes.
You could be a big time skeptic, but you could still be enjoying paranormal horror stories,
Exactly.
stuff like that, suspense, conspiracy theories, whatever. So, what about you guys? I want to know from you guys. Like Rishi, are you a skeptic, or do you think there's something out there that we don't know, something from a different dimension we don't understand?
I think I'm a believer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are things out there, but like we are so occupied in our own stuff that we just don't notice it. But when you start noticing it, and sometimes even when you're not noticing it, you can experience things, but you have to keep an open mind. You cannot just be dismissal.
You know what? I like the way you said it, because sometimes it could be hiding in plain sight.
Exactly. And you
Something that is strange, but yeah, you just don't know, or you just don't notice it. Like, I'm talking about stuff like deja vu. Like, for example, I'll give you a little example. I have like silly popcorn ceiling in my house, right? And looks like the previous owner had tried to put on pot lights at one point,
Yeah.
or attempted, or tried, or at least thought about it. So that in some rooms, there's attempts to make little holes in there. I don't know what the guy was thinking, but to make little holes in there. But then at one point, sleeping on my bedroom bed, looking up at the ceiling, I find this new hole. Okay, I'm not talking about something paranormal or creepy. I'm like, well, I've been living in this. I never noticed this hole. It's just a tiny hole. You can see there's nothing in it. You can see, like, if you shine a light in there, you can see it's just dirt in there. But like, I'm sleeping last 6 years on this bed, looking up at my ceiling. How did I never notice that there was a hole in there in that corner?
Oh.
Right? That's strange, right?
Yeah.
My mind just blocking it off, or maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But stuff like that. Like, it could be hiding in your plain sight. Something strange, something off.
And when you start believing, sometimes you start noticing that
Yeah.
something does not make sense at all, but shit will happen in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
Like I have one like weird story. This is kind of real story.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's not horror. We will go get into the horror part.
That's completely fine. Anything strange is welcome.
Okay. So basically, what happened was, like right now, I go like to my work Monday to Friday. I need to go to the office, right?
Okay.
But before my this job, for me it was like 2 times a week.
Okay.
So my office was it in one. So basically, I used to take 401 and take 404 to go to the one, right? So there was this one particular day. Every day when I'm stuck into the morning traffic rush, it was normal. I'm just enjoying my coffee and listening to Gaga and just having my jamming session.
Right.
But this day was weird. Suddenly, I got this anxiety attack
Okay.
and then panic attack.
Okay.
And suddenly, I got this kind of a vision that, like, I can see, like, multiple parallel me's, like, going in both directions.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are all kind of stuck in the traffic. And suddenly, our my car is it got hit from behind,
Okay.
and it's like a domino effect. Starts from that end.
All
And
the
it-
cars started getting hit, and you're just waiting for the impact to reach you.
Correct. And
Okay.
then after me, it keeps going.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, holy shit. Okay.
Mm.
Probably I'm just just overthinking it. I finished my day. It was Thursday. Friday, I was supposed to work from home, so I worked from home. It was a long weekend.
Okay.
So, I'm working from home around 5:30 p.m. Out of nowhere, a random car hits my car from behind in the same spot while I'm working from home and my car is parked outside.
So you got your parked car got rear-ended.
Rear-ended in the same way,
Wow.
with the same damage from my vision, like
No
the
way.
all the car hit.
That is
So you
strange.
saw your
That was strange.
future.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can also say I saw my parallel self getting hit by the same car, but I didn't get hit, and for me it was supposed to happen outside my house.
Yeah.
But with the same amount, the same damage.
Wow, that's very strange. Either it's a super strange coincidence
Mm.
or something else. Maybe, like our mind can play. Sorry, our mind can play tricks as well. Like
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, like deja vu, right?
Yeah, exactly. You just keep open on. Maybe it was a dream, or or I can say it was like a sign. Be careful.
It was like a sign. Yeah,
It was like a
exactly.
sign.
Yeah. My mother is a firm believer in things like this.
Yeah.
Like a sign and stuff. Yeah. I do have some stories from my past. None, I wasn't involved, but but I'll get to that later. Chosen, why don't you go? Why don't you tell us if you're a skeptic completely?
Oh, I'm not a skeptic at all.
Not a skeptic, so you do believe.
Oh, for sure. Like if we do content that we share stories, we gotta believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
We-
a moot point. It's a stupid question I asked.
You know what I mean? No. It's not a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question, but no, you gotta be a believer in these type of things, right? Because again, seeing is believing, but not always, right? You get that tingling feel,
Yes.
goosebumps, or you feel cold all of a sudden. Like there's so many different signs that shows you that you're not alone, right? I have a story. It's not mine. It's my father's actually from back home in Italy. Yeah. So, my father came to Canada when he was just, I guess you could say late teens.
Okay.
Yeah.
When would that be like?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, let's say the 80s.
70s, 80s?
I would say, yeah, 70s, 80s. Yeah, around there. I think late 70s, to be honest with you. So he shared some stories from his past. And my father, he's not much of a paranormal believer, but this occurrence, hands down, he believed.
Okay.
'Cause he lived it.
Believer after
Well, believe this one at least.
that? Okay.
So let me share the story with you guys.
Okay.
So back in Italy, my father and his friends at the time, they were just young little boys, just doing their thing, causing trouble. So one day, him and his friends were at the beach. They climbed some trees, and they were just, taunting people, trying to scare them. Well, one day, they scared the wrong guy. And this guy was shouting at them from underneath the trees, and they're, as kids they're doing whatever. But then this person was trying to actually be violent and tried to hurt them.
Damn.
So they jump off the tree and they take off.
Right.
So this guy, he gets on his Vespa and he's chasing them down. So from the beach,
Okay.
they ended up in alleys. There's about 4 of them, right? So my father and 3 of his friends.
Okay.
So they all said, okay, you know what? Let's split up.
Yeah.
Let you guys go that way. I go this way, this way, this way. He can't get one. He can't get all of us.
Yeah.
So okay, and remember, they're just kids. They're just boys, right? No, I think he said the age of 9 or 10, right? Okay. So, anyways, my father, he's running and he runs into an alley and he sees a place that's open. So he figured, hey, let's get inside and and hide.
Yeah.
So my father is in there and he can hear people walking and this and this and that. And all of a sudden, my father, he said he felt a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
My father goes, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
So he looked back, there was nobody there. So my father got even more scared,
Right.
took off.
Right.
Okay. He goes home, pretending like nothing happened, just another day.
Yeah.
Okay. So now my father is inside the house with his parents and his siblings. Okay. The day goes on. Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next day, my father and his friends meet up again. They don't go to the beach, they go somewhere else. And they're walking and they're walking and they're walking. But my father all of a sudden had this feeling like somebody's watching him.
Okay.
So he's telling his friends, hey, did you hear that? Did you see that? And they're thinking my father's, playing tricks, doing a prank.
Yeah.
But, my father, he didn't believe such things. But, okay, he goes, maybe it's just my imagination, right?
Yeah.
So he never told his friends about what he saw or what he felt the day before, the yesterday for him, right? The hand on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyway, he said that's fine. So the day goes on, then goes on. And then all of a sudden, 2 of the friends said, I have to go. So now my father is with one of his other friends. They're just walking, they go grab an ice cream. And then the other friend had to go home. So my father's walking home alone now. Okay? And again, the streets are busy.
Right.
His hometown, Minturno.
Okay.
Yeah, Minturno. It's a lot of beaches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's walking home and he hears a woman scream.
Wow.
Okay, so imagine being 10 years old and you hear a woman scream. But the scream wasn't just a scream like excitement. No, it was horrifying, he said. It sounded like,
a banshee.
yeah, you could say like a banshee, but it was like horrifying. It was like life-threatening. So my father, he's looking around like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Who is it?
Yeah.
Right? And he can't see anything. He doesn't see anything, but he can hear it. So my father, out of curiosity, again, being a 10-year-old boy,
Yeah.
he goes, let me investigate this. So he's following the sound. Now, it's not happening every 2 seconds, he said. It's like he hears a scream, and then he goes, okay, it's got to be this way. He hears a scream again.
Yeah.
Okay, now maybe this way.
Okay.
So
It's changing direction.
he keeps, yes, exactly.
Like something is leading him on.
That's right.
That's-
But he's not thinking that way, right?
Right, of course. He's a kid, yeah.
So anyway, so as he's walking, he ended up at the same place. The same place he was there yesterday,
Okay.
where the hand touched his shoulder.
Oh boy.
Okay?
That's gonna.
So my father right away froze.
Right.
Because he goes, how the heck did I end up here?
Exactly.
From where he was and where this place is, it's not something you just wander into.
Okay.
There's no way.
Right.
So my father, as soon as he saw the entrance, again, it was open. He backed away, and as he backed away, he got pushed inside.
Pushed inside.
Pushed inside,
Inside the building.
inside the building.
Oh my god.
And now my father's freaking out. But there's nobody in there. He looks back, nobody there either. So my father literally took off again, ran home,
Yeah.
and this time he told his mother.
Yeah.
So the mother said, no, it's nothing. It must be your imagination.
Right.
So anyway, so my father, he's like this. What's going on? Why is this happening? You know, he's confused. So anyway, that night, as he's sleeping, my father said he heard the sound again, but this time it was closer, as if it was only next door, where he heard the woman scream again. So my father jumps out of bed, and he goes to his parents' room. Okay, and the parents are sleeping. So, you know, he's trying to wake up his parents, but he couldn't wake them up. He couldn't wake them up. They were in such a sleep that no matter what he did, he was shaking them. He was saying, "Mama, mama," like a nightmare almost. But he was awake. So my father goes back into bed, and as he goes into his bed, as he's lying down, he sees a silhouette of a shadow. My father puts the blankets over his head, and hope to God, he said, please, I just want to sleep. Whatever it is, just leave me alone. Boom. He goes back to sleep. Nothing happened. Okay.
Damn.
The next day, he doesn't want to leave the house. His friends are calling him.
I wouldn't either. Yeah.
Right? Their friends are calling him. Come outside. Let's go out. Let's go do this. Let's go get an ice cream. He said no. He goes, I'm going to stay home. I don't feel too good.
Yeah.
Now, my father's the type of person, he doesn't get scared. Right? Not easily, at least. So, he goes, what's going on here? So anyway, he said to one of his brothers, his oldest brother, let's go for a walk. I want to show you something.
Okay.
Right? So this time he deliberately wanted to go to that spot. Okay. So when he went to the spot with his brother,
Bold, by the way.
it's very
I
bold.
wouldn't go there again.
But he was with his older brother. I believe his brother was about 15 or 16 years old. So much older.
Yeah.
So his brother goes, I don't know what you're doing. Like, this is nuts. It's a waste of time. You know, what do you want to do? So my father said, just come with me. So as they're walking, my father's looking around as if like someone's going to jump out of him, right? So his brother goes, what are you doing?
What's the matter?
You know, my uncle's like, what are you doing? To my father. And my father's like, listen, something is happening. I don't know why. I need you to come. So they get to the same spot. The door's closed. Nothing. Dead silence. So my uncle goes to my father, "No, you're nuts. There's no way. What are you trying to prove here? You're trying to waste my time. Waste my day." So he's like, "You know what? I'm going home. You want to come, come. You don't want to come, don't come." So he takes off, my uncle. So my father's now there alone, puzzled. Am I imagining things? Am I seeing things? What's happening? So my father's just looking at the door that's closed, not scared anymore because he's like, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
Huh?
Strange. Yeah.
Strange. So anyway, as my father turns his back to the door, he hears a knock
From other side
from
of
the
door.
inside. From the inside. But this knock was violent. It wasn't just a, knock, knock, hello. This was more like a bang, bang, get me out of here.
Oh shit.
So my father jumps. And again, he's frozen. He's like, I couldn't even breathe. And
I
then,
wouldn't either.
so the door, he said, was slowly opening.
Oh shit.
And he can see a hand. And I said to my father, what did the hand look like?
Yeah.
He said, it looked like a hand of a woman, long nails, okay, skinny, scrawny fingers.
Okay.
I said, oh, so what did you do? My father said, what do you think I did? I ran,
Yeah.
right? So as he's running, he can hear his name in the shadows, like in like as if someone is saying it to him, but like far behind him.
Far behind.
So my father now, he's just like, he couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
He's running, but he can't breathe.
Shit.
So then he stops because he's trying to catch his breath. And he says, again, I saw a silhouette of a woman, okay? But this time, this woman had no face.
No face.
No face. And the
That
woman,
always scares me. The no face thing scares me.
No face
I-
fucks me up.
okay? And he said, now he's just standing,
Yeah.
and as if everyone froze in time.
Okay.
He's just him and this silhouette of a woman without a head now.
Shit.
And this person all of a sudden As it's coming closer to my father,
Yeah.
it just all of a sudden, from being a silhouette of a woman, transforms into a horse.
A horse.
And this horse
Yeah.
literally is looking at my father with red eyes and just looking at my father, staring him down. Now, my father, he goes, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah.
So I asked my dad, and he didn't know the word of it, but I said, "Did you think it was a skinwalker?" Because they can transform into animals,
Into
right?
animals,
Into
yeah.
people, animals, you
They
name it,
mimic voices. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And my father goes, I don't know about these things, but if what you're saying is what it could be,
Yeah.
it could be it. So he goes, I said, "So what happened with you and the horse?"
Yeah.
He goes, "I stared at it back.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the horse vanished. It just went away."
Okay.
He goes, "After that, nothing happened. Every day was a normal day after that." So I said, "So how come it happened to you?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "That's the thing." He goes, "I've never in my life encountered such a thing until that." I said, "So nothing's ever happened to you before that or after that?" He goes, "No,
After the fact,
nothing.
nothing.
Nothing."
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? When he told me that story, obviously when it comes from the narrator, it sounds so much, "Oh my God, Pop, like really?"
Yeah.
But, I try my best to tell his story, but
was a scary
oh
one.
my goodness.
That was a good
This
one.
is like
Yeah.
no face woman.
Maybe left him alone. I don't know.
I guess he showed no fear, but
Yeah.
he said he was scared. He was.
Yeah.
I was at Pops. I would be too if I was.
Because as we know, like from several stories and several instances and whatever we know from all the paranormal
Yeah.
investigations, everything that I hear this a lot. That like, hey, if you're scared, if you show fear, that's what they feed off,
True.
right?
That's true. Yeah.
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 If
Yeah.
you're not giving that on a platter, then hey, I'm scared shitless. I'm shitting my
He
pants.
he gave no option.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, this guy's not budging, and you know.
Wow. Rishi,
Yes.
do you have a story you should share?
Yes, I do have
Okay. Here you go.
All right. Yeah. Tell us.
Tell us.
Whew. So this is a fun. This is a like a scary story
Okay.
to listen, but the person who's the main part of the story,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't realize anything.
Wanna give me the headline?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 second. Here.
I'll just hold it. Yeah. Thanks.
So basically, what happened was, so my mom was on a official government trip with one of another her friend. So basically, government decided that attended all the officers will do camping. Ironically, same as us.
Right.
Government of India.
Government of
Planning
Gujarat,
a camping trip.
a camping trip. So basically, it was like a glamping experience.
Glamping experience. Okay.
Glamping experience for the
So
officers.
So chosen. This is a very rare occurrence.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing.
So basically, they had like fire tents,
Okay.
but for food for the buffet and everything.
With a buffet. Okay.
Yeah, with the buffet. So they were VIP camping.
Okay.
So
Got it.
after 9:30 dinner, my mom and her best friend, they were roommates. So they came to the tent, and my mom and they were talking, and my mom, she fell asleep.
Okay.
But her friend was a little bit awake, and then she was starting to fall asleep, but suddenly the whole tent was super cold, like -2 or -3.
That cold.
That
The
cold.
temperature dropped all of a sudden.
Out sudden in less than 5 minutes.
That's never a good sign.
That's
No,
never
yeah.
inside.
Never a good sign.
Yeah. And suddenly what she notices that like from the tent outside, there's a hand touching tent from outside,
Okay.
and somehow that hand opened the chain,
Okay.
and I still don't know how the being actually looked, but what I heard so far is it was like an entity which was like humanoid figure.
Okay.
It's completely dark.
Okay.
It came inside the tent,
Okay.
and then that entity hold my mother's hand,
Wow.
and it was just pulling her.
pulling her with her
Yeah.
with this thing.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be scared.
And that entity notices that her friend notices this,
So
right?
her friend saw it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my mom, she's asleep.
Okay.
She knows nothing about this.
Right.
Someone is holding and she's pulling it. And she freaks out. Entity keeps pulling her and her friend is freaking out. And only thing she heard was, "It's your time, you need to go. It's your time, you need to go."
This is some Grim Reaper stuff right there. Bro.
Yeah.
Correct?
Okay.
And this thing is happening. She's freaking out and she starts chanting shits and then she falls asleep.
Okay.
Next day morning, she's kind of like, that state where
In a haze, yeah.
in a haze and
I'd
like
be
you
in a
kind
haze.
of like a paralyzed that you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You've seen some things,
Yeah.
but
Oh my god. That's scary, bro.
she got like fever of 102
Yeah.
next day morning, and my mom woke up like it was another Monday. To be honest, she knew nothing, but her friend, she saw everything,
She saw the whole thing.
whole thing,
So more than one people involved
more than one
saw the
person,
same thing.
same thing.
See, now that's always.
But
good,
my
bro.
mom, she
Yeah.
didn't see anything or hear anything. For
Because
for her,
she was knocked out. Yeah.
she was knocked out,
Yeah.
but her friend, she saw that.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, no, that is very creepy.
That's creepy.
That is very creepy. But that's
So basically, you're saying it's your time to go, but then it got stopped.
It got stopped.
so, what I believe. So, I mean, a lot of cultures have different. Sorry, a lot of cultures have different renditions of the Grim Reaper, right? Um, Actually, I want to start with a little joke. I saw about the Grim Reaper on Instagram. It's like, why does a Grim Reaper need a Sith? It carries a Sith. Like, I've never seen it attack anyone with a Sith. You know, and somebody replied on the post saying, he's a Reaper.
Right.
Okay, he needs a Sith. That's why he's a Reaper. I know he doesn't really uses it. He just touches someone and takes the soul away or whatever. But then he would be called the Grim Toucher, and that would get him on a list. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why he carries a Sith. Anyways, jokes apart. No offense to any Grim Reapers. What was I saying?
visit us.
Don't visit us. Yeah, but
Please, yeah, no.
yeah, no, like, but jokes apart, like, if a Grim Reaper comes in and you see it, first of all, if it's here to take you, you're gonna see it.
Correct.
You're not gonna see it even if you're sitting here.
Correct.
Okay, so if your mom's hands were being grabbed,
Yeah.
then why were you able to see it?
That's a weird.
Okay, and second of all, if he wants to take you, he'll take you. He doesn't give a crap about what you think or what you think, and nobody can stop him.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did it get stopped? So I don't think that was the Grim Reaper.
Maybe it was something else.
Maybe, yeah, camouflaged as the Grim Reaper.
As the Grim Reaper, exactly. Yeah, exactly, yeah. That was a very interesting story. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this taps into that.
Bro, next time let's make halal burgers.
We have halal burgers.
No, but chicken, the beef ones.
Oh, right. Yeah.
On our Instagram.
We restarted, right? This.